All right, everyone, it's time to start wrapping up the harmony chapter and start recapping and looking at what we have been learning here. So, what I am going to do, I've been taking this random little melody that I improvised over here, and we're basically going to harmonize it. So, I'm going to take it step by step in the same fashion as we've been going through things in this course, and we're going to end up with a harmonized theme, basically. So, let's just have a listen to the melody right away and see what we have to work with. All right, that's the melody. So what I immediately see here is that we have two phrases, one that's kind of a question and one that's more of an answer. But what I see is that this theme is in A minor, by the way. And I can see that at the end of the first phrase, we're landing on A minor. So the melody itself is not really implying that it's a question. So that kind of thing is something we have to enhance with harmony. So I want to make sure I'm not landing on A minor here, because then it kind of feels weird when the phrase is ending before the second half of the phrase. A minor, however, is something I want to land on this note, which is also an A note. So we want to make this a question and this an answer. That's all I know. But what you can see or what you can hear maybe is that these little melodic movements are sort of accentuating or hinting to different chords. So it's fairly easy to find something that fits. So let's just start looking at what we have to work with here. All right, so that's an F major chord. So that's probably something I want to use here. Here I can use a C major chord. For example, or an A minor chord. So here I could probably use E minor or G major, as the chords are, the melody is outlining these chords. Again, F major or, for example, D minor here. This can be a G major or an E minor, for example. That's what's being outlined by these notes. And then we have the final ending to the question phrase. So I want to make sure I'm not landing on A minor. So maybe F major or D minor, for example. And then we have basically the same thing going on here again. It's being repeated a lot. So let's just try to record something that's very simple using I'm only going to use 4 chords to begin with. F major, G major, A minor, and C major. So let me just improvise a little thing based on those chords, based on what I've been noticing in the melody, what's being outlined. So I'm landing on the root to kind of make the phrase resolve and feel like we've been coming to an end. So now I've been only using 4 chords, the main chords here, but there's a lot more we can do. So let's just copy this over here to just like a copy of this melody and see what happens when we start changing these chords to substitutes like we looked at earlier. So let's listen, see if there's any possibilities for that. Here, for example, we have a G major and an F major. And as you might remember, we can choose to substitute these ones for chords that are 2 steps below, which in this case is going to be E minor and D minor. So let's just move this down right away and make sure the intervals are minor and minor and not major and major as it was earlier. Let's listen to the effect of this. And here again, we have an F major chord that we can choose to substitute for a D minor. That's what I'm going to do here. What I feel though is that the E minor one is not that fitting. So I'm going to go back to a G major for this, but keep the D minor here. Because it's all just about taste and what you prefer. So let's listen to this. I'm also just going to glue this together again as it was. And we have the D minor. Here again, it's the same thing. Here's the F major that we can change to D minor. So that's what I'm gonna do. And here we have a G major. Again, we can get it to an E minor. There we go. So listen to that. Now that's starting to sound a bit better, but we're still lacking the bass line, so I'm just going to record that real quick. Alright, so we have a basic little harmony thing going on there for our melody. Now we can kind of try to see if there's any ways we can expand on these chords and make them a little bit more interesting. So let's dive in, or actually let's just duplicate this again so we have something to work on without deleting any of the things we've already been doing. So actually it might be quicker for me to just record these changes again to make it more realistic. Here we have the where I'm adding the 2nd or the 9th step of the scale, which is a chord I really like. So let's see, I'm just going to play around a little bit here and see what kind of changes we can make. All right, I'm just going to play around a little bit and record it, and we can have a look at what I did. All right, that's at least something. It's far from perfect, but let me dive in and have a look at what I did and make some changes to make it sound better. Here, I want this to resolve in the middle and go down to the coming chord.